Don't say that. Okay, you don't know.
Like, I'm not. I'm a baby. You can't kill me.
You're not a baby.
I didn't even get the jokes, man. Yeah, what?
I mean, they would troll their warden. Congress का हाथ लेके.
But that's not funny.
It was the way she said it was funny.
My dad is a big supporter of Congress. And my parents and my mamas and all when they sit together, they're all pissing off by saying all bad things about me. And like, कुछ समझ नहीं आता करके मैं गोला जाने
Why does he have such strong political opinions? I have very fluid political opinions. Whatever
the
party
party is pretty old, and at that time, Congress might be like, let's say what percent he BJP, a Shia, okay. I can use being on China.
What did you say? No, you can say that. Those parties don't count. No, it's too extremist. No.
Okay, at least don't. This is what it is.
Yeah, I know. That's the dumb decision I made.
What is the things you want to know?
I would not have him. I would kill him.
Okay, so she's not your friend, and she was very nice. You remember and very nice what they pointed out in example, it's very nice. Like, if you know, when you use silence in her friend, just after all of it, they never send any of it. Everyone sends them back.
Same with me, I'm just sad. My sister replied to my story yesterday. Liked all my stories.
And yeah.
I was going to smoking quickly. This is the story my sister like he's a green flag and that's the problem. About it. It's a joke. Leave the fuck comes up with the let me figure out and something I need some of that too. He's like us, I don't know. He liked my story, I feel mutually love.
Can I see everything?
Yeah,
in your story? Please, are you?
I am pretty strict on Instagram. Shaka अच्छी नहीं है इसलिए blur हो गया आज.
Ooh, you were sorry. Where is this?
Oxford and Delhi. Yes. I need to edit this. I'm sure the one you like. I put it yesterday.
Is your sister's Instagram?
Yes.
You and your sister have a like? Do they? Do you?
What?
You and your sister?
What?
You guys look alike?
Exactly the same. ये उसका मेरा मेन तो कुछ नहीं सुनाना अच्छा है just learn. She's basically me.
Can you just tilt it upright?
This is what? We were drunk. Just so you know, you don't act like this when you're in that.
That's the answer. Alcohol, to drink alcohol. I mean, when I was speaking, I have friend. You know, if you never feel what my friend would love you.
Why?
I don't know. I just have this feeling that your personality will match.
This is my sister.
Yeah, she does look like yourself. She has no glasses.
She does. She has glasses. She just not right now. She's prettier.
No, I think it's okay. I think
I thought for some time she's that. You should actually know. She's pretty. She has a nicer face and body.
I think you will be.
Thank you very much. I disagree.
I wish mine was in Didn't get her yet. I just
I did.
no, like you used to be different. You were doing this.
Exactly 90, 98. हर एक नहीं मैंने बताया
Mine is a 6, 7.
This is my hairstyle.
Doesn't even get what delulu means. Depression.
This is my style.
So,
मेरा मेन भी देख सकते हो.
okay. Easy for it.
Moment. The guy I meet in 7-Eleven. Remember school. This is a random. There. मेरी बहन को सेट करने की कोशिश कर रही है. Okay. Why are you looking at? Like this shade of the wrong color. He has a guy who looks exactly like him.
Yeah, we are trying this.
ये मेरे स्कूल का नहीं है, ये अमेरिकन का है.
My school is also fancy.
मेरे डिस्को जिसको मैं देखो क्या डिस्को.
I don't know what happened now. Our grade got poison because it's happy consecutive. And we got 2 cases. Like, you know, Janice, when she dances, she just forgets who's around her. She just dances. She dances like edit. She starts dancing because she's happy to run in the bus. It was like sleeping. It was she like Giovanni, she gets up, she starts dancing and sits with that teacher like. And then she gets funny for like.
कॉल कर क्या?
All broke up. And you know, it's I don't know. Pari was Pari was dominating, but was very sweet. Was very sweet. She's very. You know what? So my friend Krishna is dating Daksh, one guy, and Daksh and Paul are pretty nice friends. So she was roaming around with.
I'm telling you. Okay.
See, we were talking so much about it, but do you know what is constituency?
Yeah.
What is
A
constituency?
country is divided into many small parts, on district levels, to contest elections in like smaller regions.
So you have to define it like that. It is a territorial unit. If you are not having, you just write territorial unit.
We have the definition.
Well,
In the textbook, there is a glossary, constituency
let
words.
her check textbook.
नहीं वाली है?
Glossary.
फिर पे नई वाली है
कागज
ये नई वाली नहीं है टेक्स्ट बुक तो नहीं खरीदी
हाँ नई वाली
मैंने अभी नहीं खरीदी थी
हाँ।
नई पुरानी है
हाँ you check it last page here.
कौन सी टाइप सी
हाँ
here it is I told you
you have to study. Okay, so let us complete this one. They often make false promises and try to deceive the public. Afraid of dirty attacks and unhealthy competition, many good people do not like to contest election. See this false allegation, dirty.
बाबे लेटी का तो बुद्धि है shut up
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Anyhow, there are some good aspects as well as bad aspects. So if that good things are covering up the bad things, why not we have that election? Because that is the only solution for a democratic country. So that is why even if we are having so many demerits, we prefer to have electoral competition. Got it? In spite of all the defects in political competition, the constitution makers preferred free competition in election as the way to select our future leaders. Understood? They did so because this system was better in the long run. Say, if we need a government only for 1 week or 1 month, there is no need. But we need long-term policies, and that also to be accomplished. We know that for a long time, that is after independence onwards, there was a policy called 5-year plans.
Yeah.
Economic policy was that for 5 years they are planning economic development. Till 2014 it worked.
But why did this government not continue the higher plan?
They don't want to plan it for 5 years. But it was very successful. We have seen the initial plans were for agricultural development, then industrial setup. So once we stand on our foot, then we start for competition.
That's the remote.
Then we start competition. So this was the policy, and till that much time it worked well. Understood? So that is why for long term we need to have election. Then political competition is not necessary in such an ideal world. See, if there is perfect world, there is no need of any competition. All the people are having that only that good ideas, and that good idea people are getting selected, and they are ruling. So there is no perfect, there is no ideal government or ideal country, we can say. So, but that is not what happens in real life. Political leaders all over the world, like all other professionals, are motivated by a desire to advance their political careers. See, if a person wanted to enter into politics, they are driven by some kind of prospects. They are not just coming into, okay, I will try. So just by seeing that water jumping into the water like that, no. So they are driven by certain motivation. They wanted to reach to that highest post. That is why everyone is entering into politics. So in such type of system, people need electoral competition. Understood? We know that when a person is entering into a service, That person did not want to remain there throughout the life.
Yeah.
If a person is joining as a teacher, they wanted to get higher levels. So, or sometimes they want to be the principal, they want to go to the higher levels. So, this is what the motivation. The same way, a person who enter into the political arena also have such kind of motivation to become the powerful person. They may wish to serve the people as well. That may be a minute part, serving the people. But it is risky to depend entirely on their sense of duty. See, some people used to tell, how can I alone be a corruption free person?
Yeah, like everyone else did
Everyone
that,
else, then I am also. How can I remain a different person?
yeah, then I want to succeed or flourish in my career.
So that is why, okay, they have to do that needs of the people also, but more important part is that they are driven or they are motivated by reaching to that higher. Then, besides, even when they wish to serve the people, they may not know what is required to do so, or their ideas may not match what the people really want. See, we know that
We're having a food fight.
see what every person want. The representative is not knowing.
Yeah.
Representative is driven by some members,
Personal
party
motivation.
members who are just uh, along with that person. We know that many political leaders, when there is any program, they come with so many associates,
Yeah.
party members. So the common person think that
They have so many supporters.
yes.
Their
And
ideas are
secondly, to reach that person through only they can reach. By the time it is not reaching. But here, these mediators will collect a huge amount. I will get it done.
Yeah, just give me the money.
Yes. This way, many areas we can see that really needy people are not getting because of this interference of
Multiple
Party.
middlemen.
Okay. Did you get it? How do we deal with this real life situation? Okay, these all problems are there. How can we deal with this situation? You
Kill
tell.
everyone.
You just try to. How can we deal with such a situation?
By
You try by your own way. You don't worry about it. We three are only there. Okay.
And if someone's watching.
like if,
Hmm.
by trying to
Improve the knowledge and character of the political leaders.
maybe making like a particular level, like the leaders who come should be like like there are many of our leaders who are not literate at all.
Literacy fit a certain criteria of knowledge, no?
Yeah, like they're not at all. They don't know. They just come because they are like power up. They're popular in the area. So maybe we can have rules like a few categories of. They should have a few categories of knowledge so that they're able to understand many people better. Like
Why don't
maybe,
we have exams for candidates? Like for civil servants, we have to qualify
yeah,
an exam to
UPSC
qualify.
and so they understand the people and the problems better.
Why can't we have something like
Yes. Actually, earlier times, the political party leaders were not at all educated.
Yes. but they had the sense of like a connection with the people where they understood.
But nowadays, what happened? There are the educated people are reaching to that. At that time, in the parliament also, unruly situations used to be there. How to behave in the parliament?
No one understood.
So that is what standing on the table of this thing. So many
Till
bad
now,
ways.
so many.
Now also, it can be seen in that some state assemblies, parliament.
Rahul Gandhi gave Modi ji a cheek kiss in the parliament. He came there out and gave him a cheek.
So
I feel you outside my life.
it may be an indication you do whatever.
No, it was just fun. I mean, it was, but then it was not the right course of action.
See, the one way that we can think in two ways. One is that you just think about how much insult that person was experiencing dynamically. Calling Amor baby, this thing, that thing, Papu.
Yeah.
So these all things are insults. The whole world is watching. Our Lok Sabha sessions are lively telecast. So world is watching, and that is an insult, no? To naturally, that person feel insecure.
They want to do something
Ah.
or the other.
So that person, you do whatever. I don't have anything. Give money. So this was a show that if you don't go on doing, but afterwards it reduced.
Yeah,
The way the person is doing, the result reduced. So this is one way. He is highly educated.
yeah.
That person, highly educated. That is Western education. He had and MBA. So that marketing tactics and all the things he knows. This person is not that way educated. He knows that the word, that ugly words, I don't like that. That type of words. Means you, when you are speaking that friendly talk, okay. But publicly, when you are speaking,
There is some level of decorum you need to maintain.
decorum they have to. So that is what. So earlier it was not like that. Standing on the table and lifting that dhoti, like that the condition was there. So nowadays, what is that? The speaker. Yes. Speaker used to call all the members and give that training to the newcomers. That is how to behave in that.
How to be?
Yes. That now that session is there. Because they are not just a local person. No, they are representing that country in the highest house. So representative house. So that is why training is there. Training sessions. Okay, leave that one. This thing. First one is that the person who is elected, if you are elected, you should know the needs of the people.
Yeah.
The knowledge about what are the needs of the people.
Yes, always.
So that is what one way we can improve. Second is that reward and punishment. Those who are doing good things will be repeatedly elected. People have to do. But if you are not doing well, throw out. So reward and punishment, that is the next way. Understood? So that regular election time, that all things, then public medias can play a very important role. But nowadays medias are dominated by the ruling parties only.
So there is no fair news or
Yes.
actual.
And even the discussions and debates conducted also.
They were at most times.
So that is dominated by that party and that. So impartial way it is also not taking place. Then political competition may cause some ugliness and divisions. ultimately it puts pressure on the political parties and their leaders to serve the people for their own survival. So, if they wanted to remain, they must do something. Understood? If the person feel that if I should be there, I have to do my work properly. So that is what the politicians also should understand. So the reward and punishment will help them to understand. Got it?
Yeah.
These points. Now we are going to see what are the electoral processes. Here comes that earlier in the beginning I told you different types of elections. Okay, you asked me a question that why 4 years or like that. There are 3 types of elections. The first is general election.
That happens at regular intervals.
General elections are the elections which take place after every 5 years. Understood? That is the normal election after every 5 years. Got it? The definition you should learn. Then, if you are not about this thing, you just underline that point. Midterm election. See, that midterm election, what we have seen Deviland's case, after 4 years, election had to take place. That is, the government had to be suspended or dissolved and fresh election had to take place. That election, that is why it did not complete the full term.
Yeah.
Understood? That kind of election is called a midterm election. It is not exactly middle of the term.
Yeah, but somewhere along the time, the
yes.
government had to dissolve.
Yes, it is dissolved and fresh elections are taken place. Now, you see that Devilal got after 4 years, then election. So, next government was Congress government. So, this government can continue for 5 years.
Oh, so they don't have to disband after 1 year.
Yes, that is what the difference is. Midterm election, they get the chance of completing 5 years.
Okay, they complete 5 years as in the 1 year of Devilal's term and 4 other years.
No. It is like that. They are elected for a 5-year term.
That's a new term altogether.
Yes.
You know.
That's
so not satisfying to think of.
No.
1 year from here and now 4 years separately and then
See, anyhow that house is completely dissolved.
Yeah.
Then new election.
Okay.
So normally that it is like a general election only.
Yeah.
So that election is taken place for 5 years term. That much only you have to understand. So why I specified this one? Next one is by election.
Yeah, if someone dies, right?
If after getting elected, the person died or resigned, so only to that place election is taken place.
So that particular ward or that particular
constituency. Now what happened? See, if that 4.5 years over, only 6 months left. So fresh elections have taken place. Some case it is required or fresh election is taken place. He can complete only 6 months. Understood? But in the case of midterm election,
they complete
5 years. But by election, only how much?
The
remaining period. Understood? Sometimes that person who is the legislative assembly member, he died. So member is required. So election. So normally for 6 months, no election will be done. Because
presidential rule.
Not a presidential rule. It is just for a constituency. No? So for deciding that election to be taken place then
That
all
itself
the
change to
maintenance, all the processes to be completed. So that is why mostly the smaller period, this one is not taken.
What if a CM leaves at 4.5 months, 4.5 years, and only 6?
See, that time,
That will be midterm election.
no midterm election. If the same, from the same party, one more leader can be chosen and they can complete that.
Understood.
Only for the constituency, if it is a smaller period, fresh election will not take place. But if 1 year is left, of course, election will take place.
It is necessary.
Clear?
Yeah.
So, midterm election, that period can continue for 5 years. But by-election, only for the rest of the term.
By-election is rest of the term, midterm election is the
Full
complete.
5 years.
So they get a fresh term in the midterm.
Yes. Is it clear to you?
It was quite confusing thinking about it. I don't know.
Say, now, you got elected.
Yes.
Okay. You got elected and you don't want to continue or some problem. You
Or
had
die.
to, you had to, I'm not using it. you don't want to continue or some reason you had to resign. So now, only from that constituency, another person has to be taken. Because we cannot tell that the second person to continue. See, it is on the basis of that majority vote. The second person, then other question will come, cases will go, so many problems will come. Understood? See, now one interview. If interview is there and first person got that selected,
Yeah.
and the second person is having the chance. If there is a vacancy,
Yeah.
the second person will be called and asked, "Are you ready to continue?" There is a 6 months leave vacancy is there. So that the second person is already having that
6 months.
6 months. Sorry, already cleared that interview and is selected for that. Understood? So second person can be called. But in the election process, it is not possible. There will be vast difference in the number of votes. So, fresh elections will take place. So, that is called by-election. But in the case, Maharashtra State Assembly, I am just giving an example. Maharashtra State Assembly, that they lost that support. No confidence motion have been passed. So they have to resign. Now the government is resigned and the opposition party is not having that much number
So they
to
will
form the government. So president can dissolve it. Now fresh elections to be taken place. Because opposition is also not having that much number. So that is called midterm election. Is it clear? That midterm election can complete 5 years. So normally you just imagine 2023 that election had to take place. But in 2022 midterm election had taken place. So 2027 only now next election will be. Otherwise, 2023 election had to take place. But here, in this case, already a new government has been formed. So it is getting 5 years term. She did not understand.
उसको पहले समझ आ गया. She understood it the first time.
Okay. Clear?
Mom, can I use the washroom before we start the next
Hey,
one?
I want to do one.
No, shut up. Stay here. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. It does not take too much.
Just read that what is our system of election.
From electoral politics only.
Hmm.
Okay. Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha Assembly elections are held regularly after every 5 years. After 5 years, the term of all the elected representatives come to an end. The Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha stands dissolved. Elections are held in all constituencies at the same time, either on the same day or within a few days. This is called a general election.
Clear?
Sometimes election is held only for one constituency to fill the vacancy caused by death or resignation of a member. This is called a by-election. In this chapter, we will focus on general elections. Electoral constituencies.
So midterm election is not defined here. You have to study about it. You have to understand.
Electoral constituencies. The country is divided into different areas for purpose of elections. These areas are called electoral constituencies. For Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 constituencies. The number of Lok Sabha seats or constituencies has been fixed for each state according to its population.
So this is based on the population.
Like Goa will have less seats compared to Maharashtra.
Maharashtra.
Smaller state.
And then another thing, see, earlier only one constituency, the largest constituency in the country was Belapur constituency. Afterwards, when the population of Belapur increased, divided that constituency into Airoli, that one constituency. So, like that, when the population of that said locality is increasing, also according to that population, constituencies can be increased. But Lok Sabha, there is a maximum limit. Beyond that, it cannot be. Understood? If it has to be increased, means there are some laws to be passed. Then only fresh member or number of seats can be increased.
A member of parliament, voters who live in an area constituency elect one representative. The representative elected from each constituency is called a member of parliament or an MP.
So, member of parliament, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha representatives are called
MPs. One of the features of a democratic election is that every vote should have equal value. That is why our constitution requires that every constituency should have a roughly equal population living within it.
So equal value and that every vote is having equal value. Whether the vote is given by the president or prime minister or a common person like me, so value of that vote is same. By being the president or prime minister, they may not have more.
Assembly constituencies. Similarly, each state is divided into a specific number of assembly constituencies. In this case, the elected representative is called the member of legislative assembly or MLA. Number of constituencies. Each parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies. The same principle applies for panchayat and municipal elections. Division of village or town into wards. Each village or town is divided into several wards that are like constituencies. Each ward elects one member of the village or the urban local ward. Counting of constituencies as seats. Sometimes these constituencies are counted as seats. For each constituency, the constituency representatives one seat in assembly.
It is called a seat. We are calling it, that is from one constituency, one member is there, that is that many number of seats in the parliament.
For example, when we say that the Lok Sabha wants 60 seats in Haryana, it means that constituencies in the state and thus Lok Dal had 60 MLAs in the state assembly.
Okay, is it clear? This is what about the first thing in the election process is dividing the country or dividing the state or dividing the region into that wards or constituency. Okay, so it is the region from where one representative is elected. It can be an MP, it can be an MLA, and it can be a ward member. Clear? That is the first process. There are so many processes. That is what the first process is: constituency, formation of constituency. Now, reserved constituencies.
Our constitution entitles every citizen to elect its representatives and to be elected as a representative. In a good electoral competition, it is possible that certain weaker sections may not stand a good chance to get elected to the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies. They may not have the required resources, education, and contacts to contest and win elections against others. Those who are influential and resourceful may prevent them from winning elections. In that case, our parliament and assemblies would not have representation of a significant section of our population. That would make our democracy less representative and less democratic.
Okay.
Just tell me when we're leaving.
So that much part I will explain.
Okay.
Wait.
Bye. Ja.
See, we are learning about the election process. So, types of election we have seen. Now, election process. The first work for election process is dividing the region into constituencies. It is the territorial unit. So, when it is about the parliament, that members of the parliament are elected. That is why they are called MPs. So, if it is for legislative assemblies, the members are called MLAs. So, the size is different. For parliament, maximum number is 545. So, more than that we cannot take. So, that is why that one is a bigger unit. And when we take about the state assemblies, the size may be smaller because more than.
How much is for the state assemblies? 100, 200?
No, it depends upon the population of that state and the size of that. For example, we know that Maharashtra is having 288 members, whereas Goa is having 60.
Yeah, it's fine.
So that is what. So it varies according to that population as well as the size. Clear? But the whole nation, that MPs are maximum 500. Whether it is including the union territories or the state. Clear?
What if the population is increasing? Shouldn't the 545 members also increase?
For that, Parliament have to pass a bill to increase. Because earlier, according to that condition, they have made it, restricted it to that. So they made a law up to that 550. Already the law is there that the maximum number can be up to 550, but it is not yet implemented. So immediately we are implementing, then there may be so many other issues because new demand will come for creation of new states, the new union territory. The union territories also, all the union territories are not having that parliamentary representation. So like that. So that is why they have to see all these things then only. So already the law is made for making it to 550. Okay. So MPs are this one, that are representatives to the parliament, and MLAs are the representatives to the legislative assemblies. And there is another unit that is ward. Ward is that for panchayat, or municipality or municipal corporation. Okay, that is what the first step. Second step only we have started this one, the third constituency, and she read up to
The
the
second one.
third point,
Yeah.
fourth point.
Oh.
I did not explain that one. I am waiting for her also to come. You read. Continue.
Should I read from the first one?
Ah.
Our constitution entitles every citizen to elect its representative and to be elected as a representative. In an open electoral competition, it is possible that certain weaker sections may not stand a good chance to get elected to the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies. They may not have the required resources, education, and contacts to contest and win elections against the others. Those who are influential and resourceful may prevent them from winning elections. In that case, our parliament and assemblies would not have representation of a significant section of our population. That would make our democracy less representative and less democratic. The constitution makers provided for reserved constituencies for the weaker sections. Some constituencies are reserved for people who belong to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. In a SC reserved constituency, only someone who belongs to the scheduled caste can stand for election. Similarly, those belonging to the ST can contest an election from a constituency reserved for ST. Currently, the Lok Sabha 79 seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and 41 for the scheduled tribes. This is
Give me the text, that number.
Does that change?
Yes, that is what I want to. You just make that correction. 84 seats are reserved for scheduled castes. 79 ka jagah 84.
I changed it in both the books.
And 47 for scheduled tribes.
Okay.
As on 26th January 2019.
So it must change.
Hmm.
मैं अंदर जा रही हूँ बट शांति से वो क्लास खत्म नहीं हुआ है इसी से होता है बट चेंज कर दिया तुम्हारी टेक्स्ट तो तुम्हारी बुक में नंबर चेंज हो
Continue.
Thus, the reserved seats for SC and ST do not take away the legitimate share of any other social group. This system of reservation was extended later to other weaker sections at district and local level. In many states, seats in rural, panchayat, and urban municipality and corporations, local bodies are now reserved for other backward classes as well. However, the proportion of seats reserved varies from state to state. Similarly, 1/3 of the seats are reserved in rural and urban bodies for women candidates.
Okay. So here 2-3 points you have to underline, very important, why there is a need for reserved constituency. See, earlier we know that a very strict caste system prevailed. So in that case, there was a vast disparity between the upper class and lower class. Now, in that case, imagine a situation like that. If a lower caste person contesting the election, will the upper caste vote to that person? Never. Because they don't have the money power and the feeling that is inside, their mentality is not
The discriminative feeling
Ah.
and the what do you call it? The prejudice about people never changes.
So, superiority complex among that upper class. So, this the constitution makers have understood. If such kind of situation was there, then they never get a chance to represent their groups in the parliament. That is why constitution makers introduced a system of reserved constituencies. What is the meaning of reserved constituency? Certain constituencies were the majority is of scheduled castes, whose representation is a must for improving their condition. So that caste get reserved. Means the person from that caste have to contest. In that, there is no that open candidate. The candidates will be from scheduled.
So that they don't have a choice but to vote for one.
Yes, understood. So reserved for that scheduled caste or scheduled tribes depends upon the area. So that the representation will be in the parliament. Is it clear? So that is why in our constitution this particular rule has been made, and time to time this has changed the number varies, because if the proportion of population is more, they also should get more representation. Accordingly, in 2019, 26th January, the number is 84 scheduled caste represented
And 47 scheduled tribes.
So only that caste, if it is reserved constituency, only that particular community. So
If nice way to
if 10 are there, out of the 10, one person will be.
yeah, someone has to choose.
So that is why every party have to choose that kind of candidate. Did you get the meaning?
Yes.
So that is the second way of election process. So two process, one is that electoral constituencies and second is reserved constituency. Why reserved constituency is introduced, that point also clear, and what is the data. Okay. Now the third point.
Voters list.
You just read, you will see.
After the demarcation of constituencies, the next step is to see that the voters list is prepared. For this, the electoral roll, commonly known as the voters list, is prepared. All residencies above the age of 18 are included in this list. Only insane persons or those who have criminal records are omitted from the list. Insane persons.
So it is not like that. Okay.
So why aren't they allowed to contest for elections? Criminals.
It is not for election. Voters list.
Why can't they take part in like the voting procedure?
That is what in the normal procedure, every political party want to get maximum vote.
Yeah.
So that is why every person, if the ruling party is the party which I support, so if they feel that okay, I will vote for that, so my name will be definitely there. If the ruling party thinks that you vote for another party, so you somehow your name will be removed. So that is what voters list is the list of person from that constituency who are eligible to vote.
Yeah.
That list is prepared so that we will get to know that which polling booth we are having our vote. So sometimes what happens, some people who had previously voted and died, their name have to be removed. That is the process. So many times what happen, their names are not getting removed because some people can vote in that way. Yes, that way also happening. Many places it is happening. And if I am living in Sanpada and I have moved to some other place, so normally what to be done? My name from Sanpada has to be removed and my name to be included in the place where I
currently reside.
So that also many times not happening. The actual aim is that how many number of people are coming to vote in that particular polling booth, because they have to assign polling booths. The load should not be more. In a place, that is, if a school, mostly schools will be polling booths, schools or colleges.
Government schools.
Not only government, it is not compulsory that it should be, but they will decide like that. And that schools should not have very heavy load of people because the process is very cumbersome. So that is why what they used to do, okay, in that particular school, if 10 booths are made,
Yeah.
then the nearby school should have
More language.
So like that they have to divide in order to reduce the load. Clear? So that is why the step is preparation of voters list. Okay, then
The electoral roll is linked to the first condition of a democratic election. Everyone should get an equal opportunity to choose representatives. Based on the principle of universal adult franchise, in practice it means that everyone should have one vote and each vote should have one value, equal value. No one should be denied the right to vote without a good reason. But not that as per universal adult franchise, criminals in jail should also be allowed to vote.
that is what in the real sense it is not happening. She asked the question by insane people.
Insane because like
They don't have proper balance.
Mental balance is not there, so they
They
may
cannot
misuse that condition. So like that, if complicated situation is there, their name will not be included. And criminal, see, some people are becoming criminal accidentally.
Yeah.
They are not purposely a criminal. There are purposely
People who
criminals.
choose to do.
So by accident they become criminal. See, you don't want to beat each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but the she
Anger and
was
resentment.
so that time you get. So you are not a born that a fighter. Understood? By that. Like that, people are there in jail. So they should get the right. No.
Yeah.
So that is why in jails also polling booths are there. Some people, because that way born criminals are there. So they should not get it because their presence can create some kind of trouble. So that is why they are
Yeah,
kept safe. Got it?
Different citizens differ from one another in many ways. That is why all of them deserve to have an equal say in decisions that affect them. In our country, all citizens aged 18 years and above can vote in an election. Every citizen has the right to vote regardless of his or her caste, religion, or gender. Some criminals and persons with unsound mind can be denied the right to vote, but only in rare situations.
Okay, rare situation.
Yeah, that was understood. I think we just discussed this.
It is the responsibility of the government to get the names of all the eligible voters put on the voters list. As new persons attain voting age, names are added to the voters list. Names of those who move out of a place or those who are dead or are deleted. A complete revision of the list takes place every 5 years. This is done to ensure that it remains up to date.
See, she told that after 3 years she will be eligible for.
Yeah.
So your name to be added in the voters list.
For that, I'll have to make the epic card, maybe like the
So that is just like that you will not get it. There is a form. So the region, the ward, they will make some kind of ward council. Okay, this particular school, this time, this process will start. So those who are completing 18 years or already completed 18 years within this time, you can come and register your So the form will be there, and photos also. Earlier epic card when there is photo was taken by the government only. So some other way only that photos used to be. Aadhaar card mein photo is.
Yeah, now they upload their own pictures, right?
So that is why earlier it was like that. The government was taking. Now they used to connect that photos from that respective person and fill that data, and they will provide a card. So that is called a EPIC, election photo identity card. Hmm?
In the last few years, a new system of election photo identity card, EPIC, has been introduced. The government has tried to give this card to every person on the voters list. The voters are required to carry this card when they go out to vote, so that no one can vote for someone else. But the card is not yet compulsory for voting. For voting, the voters can show many other proofs of identity like the ration card or the driving license.
See, ration card is not applicable.
Right now it's not, right?
It is not. But is that earlier ration cards were allowed because it was a proof of that person.
Yeah, right.
But the ration card is not having photo. Now you are going to vote in my name. So how can we identify?
Yeah.
Unless and until photo is not there. So that is why whatever documents which is having that photo of that person.
So passport is fine?
Yes, passport is applicable. Even that other card, then passbook is there, no? Passbook also, bank passbook.
Yeah.
In that also photo is there. So whatever documents which are having photo can be used. Okay. Next is announcement of election date. These all things are done by the government.
They lead up to the election.
Now the election commission process is coming, declaration of the date of election. So up to that much you have to be. Your textbook.
I pass you the pouch.
I pass you the pouch.